Hi, this is Sean Henricksen here at the Sean Henricksen Law Firm, where we help good people like you avoid the devastating consequences of criminal charges. Today I'm going to tell you about how I win every ALR hearing. An ALR hearing is basically a hearing to decide whether or not the state can suspend your driver's license when you've been arrested for DWI. In the past, I was always frustrated after these hearings because DPS doesn't have a very high bar. It's usually easy for them to show that the officer had probable cause to arrest you and that you either refused a blood or breath test or that you consented to a blood or breath test and failed. And because of that, the state would usually win. They were able to suspend your driver's license, and I always felt a little bit beaten up on it. Since then, I've realized what a huge opportunity these hearings are, and why I suggest that everybody arrested for DWI request a hearing on their driver's license. There are essentially two options when we have a hearing on your driver's license. The first option is that we request the hearing, we subpoena the officer, which essentially means we have the court order the officer to show up so that we can question him on the hearing about whether or not he had probable cause to arrest you on the day that he arrested you. If the officer doesn't show up when he's been subpoenaed, then that usually leads to this case being dismissed, not the overall DWI, but the driver's license suspension. And that means that you get to keep your driver's license. And that's a great thing that you're able to keep your driver's license. And so I definitely consider that a victory at the ALR hearing. The other possibility is that the officer does show up and we are able to question the officer on everything that happened when you were arrested for DWI. Now, when we question the officer, normally we're able to get a lot more information than we have just by looking over police reports or just by looking over the video. We're actually able to question the officer on his specific practices when he was performing the field sobriety tests, on his specific opinion on why he pulled you over, and other things like that. And either we're able to get some good information to show that the officer shouldn't have pulled you over or shouldn't have arrested you for DWI or wasn't properly performing the field sobriety tests that we can then use at trial if your case does end up going to trial, if your DWI case ends up going to trial. If it turns out that the officer did everything correctly and we don't really have much information that we'd be able to use at trial, then we walk away with information that we wouldn't have had without the driver's license hearing. And that can be a reason for us to decide maybe this isn't the case that's best for trial, and maybe we should be negotiating a plea on this case instead. And if that's the case, that's information that we wouldn't have had if we didn't have this driver's license hearing. Ultimately, we might not be able to keep your driver's license from being suspended, but usually that's a smaller issue than being able to win or get a better result on your DWI case. If your license is suspended, we can still get you an occupational driver's license in most cases and still keep you driving legally while your case is pending and during the driver's license suspension. Winning an ALR hearing isn't just about keeping your driver's license. It's about putting you in a better position than you were before that hearing. And we can get you in a better position every time, whether it's because we were able to keep your driver's license from being suspended, or whether it's because we're able to walk away from that hearing with more information than we had before that hearing. If you've been arrested for DWI and if the state's trying to suspend your driver's license, give me a call so that we can put your case in a better position. My phone number is 210-942-4997. Have a great day.